the cloud or record to your computer.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Record to the cloud, otherwise you won't be able to share the link.
All righty. Now, the last time I did that, I was able to send it into the Telegram room, but I hit record and it did not tell me, it did not, maybe it's because it has the cloud around it. It's automatically recorded. So maybe I set it up in my settings and wasn't aware of it. But thank you. I'll keep that in mind from now on to make sure to see that cloud when it's recording.
Okay.
All righty, guys. So just getting started, we are logged in and on the main page. And it's a little afternoon now, about 12:07. And some guy here hasn't gotten his points yet. So he needs to work on that. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, of course, log out is self-explanatory. Your social activity is actually this page here. It's the home page. You can click on social activity or home whenever you see that, and it'll take you to the same spot. And on this home page, we have a new thing, the leadership recognition. And I'll click on that in a minute. Then you also have where you, if you're subscribed member or upgraded member, it will let you know if you need to get your points for the day. You'll see your status, time and date, of course, and then the live daily broadcast schedule here. You'll also see the Facebook and Telegram groups, which is highly suggested that you join both. There's a lot of information in both of these groups. The Maxous Facebook group deals more with advertising and resources and how to advertise and that kind of thing. The Telegram group is all the important updates, and you'll find a little of both in each, but the Telegram group is mostly for really important information and updates dealing with Maxous. So I highly suggest that you join both of those. And then here you have the, we don't actually have the Maxous app in the Google or iPhone stores yet, Play stores, but they will be there. And that's, this link will basically take you through the process now to, but when you have Maxous on your Android, and I'll say that because I have an Android, it actually is just taking you to the website, and it's designed to be seen on a phone, but it's not the actual app yet. It's just a website. and you have your webinar login. So if you're logged in and you know that either a buzz call is coming up or a training call on Saturday, or I believe Joey, and just throw in there because I forget the dates and I'm sorry, but you and Chappie have training during the daytime also. On what days are those? Joey?
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at noon.
Okay. So Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at noon are also training days that Joey and Chappie post. And I've had a chance to get to one of them, and they're good. They're things we need to know. So I would highly suggest if you can make any of those training days, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and Saturday, then try to. Today, you don't have Coach, so he usually has a plan. Today, I just wanted to go over navigating the site. And if we get more involved with training, then we'll probably come up with a plan that any one of us would be doing to keep a flow. The other thing that you see here on the main page is your affiliate link. Now that link, you can shorten it, or you can use the same link. In certain places, I just grab this link and use it because they, the advertising resources have their own way of doing things, and they have their own tracking code. So I just give them the link straight up. But if I'm tracking it, then I want to use a different URL and redirect to it. And we can get into that in another training session also. But and then you have your regular where you post. And keep in mind that when you post something, you get 5 points. When you reply to a post, like if I reply to this particular one, which I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm not going to say like, I really don't, and it's up to each one of us. I really don't just go to get my points. I try to actually, if I like something, it's because I actually watched the video or I actually like the saying that they put down or whatever was going on. If I don't think it is pertinent, then I'll just skip over it. Not necessarily saying that it isn't, but in this particular case, I just wanted to show you all what is and what we do, and you know how Facebook works, so we're not going to go through all of that. But so when you're liking something, you're getting a point. When you actually post something yourselves, like in this case, I'll just show you an example. I have 4 points for today. If I was to put in today's training call is now going on. Oh, you can again. And I might even delete that later. When you delete something, just so you guys know, guys and gals know that it will actually take a point away from you. Now, by putting that in, if I was to do a refresh or hit home again, which actually does a refresh, you will see that. And so right there, just by putting that couple of sentences in, I gained 5 points. So it's easy to get your points for the day. I mean, and some people have at some point when I have the time, I usually end up with 200 or 300, 400, 500 points. But today I know I won't have the time, so we can skip all of that. Now, again, folks, I do want this to be interactive. So if you have any questions about anything along the way, then feel free. I like to welcome everybody. Now that I see Jacko up here, I like to welcome everyone. So I'm actually going to like that and comment, because I don't like to just thumbs up. I like to recognize the person by name. That's just something for me, and I'll post that in there. And I also like to welcome them by actually, so I'll throw in another tab because I actually want to request their friendship. And I do this with anyone that I welcome, whether on my team or not. I think it's the whole community aspect of things. So any questions before we move on? Because I talk fast and I'm a scatterbrain sometimes. And when I have weather related issues and migraines and things, and my head swims a lot. So right now I'm just all over the place, but I want to give you guys enough information to help you navigate. So if you have some questions, please, by all means, stop me and just throw that question out there, because it may be something that someone else is thinking too. In your account area, there's a few things there that I think if you haven't looked over it yet. The edit profile, change my password, manage subscription, billing information, billing receipts, billing history, commission pay setup, and sponsor information to make a payment. I'm going to skip down to sponsor information just for now, because if you're trying to build your Maxous business, and which I would say 90% of us, that's what we got in it for, you need to know who your sponsor is and who your uplines are in case you can't reach your sponsor. In some cases, I've actually worked with people who aren't even on my team anywhere, but they couldn't get the help that they were looking for, and they were able to reach me. And you want as you're building your team, you want them to be able to reach you, or someone that you can rely on if they can't reach you, because this is your business. This is important. So if you click on sponsor information, it will bring up who your sponsor is. In this case, is Sandy, and Sandy is awesome. I love her. She's a great sponsor. And then it shows who your sponsor is, the person that enrolled that person, all the way up to the company itself. So it doesn't matter what level you're on. If you're on level 7, then you'll see a few more of these. But it takes you all the way up to the entire company. So you'll know who your total uplines are. And that's very important. And you have their email addresses if you need to reach them. So keep that in mind. That's in my account sponsor information. If you want to change your password, well, let's go to edit profile. I don't think it's much there, but you can change or add a picture. And I highly recommend that you do that. I believe it or not, I'm a shy person, but in internet marketing, I realized a long time ago that the more people feel like they can relate to you, or at least know you in some way, the better your marketing results are. So I actually have this exact photo in my emails, and it's just I set it in the Google settings. So some people are even more shy than me and don't want their picture in there for whatever reason. Put an image of your cat or your dog or something. I wouldn't do it, but it's better than having the shadow in there, the shadow image. It just shows that you're a little bit more involved. I won't say it's serious, because some people are really, really serious and they don't have their picture in there. But I think it's a nice touch to have something in there other than the shadow. Change your password. It's basically the same thing, just reset your password, whatever you want to do. Manage your subscription, and this is where you get into if you want to upgrade, downgrade, that kind of thing. and it's just one thing here. If you want to downgrade to silver or downgrade to free, I choose not to. I want to stay gold. I think the benefits are there. Your billing information and billing receipts and stuff, I just kind of scan over that, but that's just basically showing your information there. And basically shows when you joined and when you paid and that kind of thing like that. Commission pay setup. Here it's just asking for, right now we're having an ACH, so checks are being deposited directly to your bank, and that's a good thing. In actuality, folks, I have not done that yet. I have a goal of having several $100s in there before I even pull any out. My goal is I want to make sure I have enough in to carry me through a year without having to come off of my card. So I've not done this yet, so I can't honestly tell you what the other process is once you get past this. I haven't done it. So if anybody's on the phone that want to share that, feel free, because we're all here to help each other. But I've not passed this point. So, and then make a payment is if you're behind, or for some reason they didn't take it out automatically, and you can make the payment by debit card or e-wallet account. And again, that's what I prefer to do. To just do it through here. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Next section is benefits and save. In here we have the premium benefits, Amazon, savings, grocery coupons, and pharmacy card. Pharmacy card is pretty straightforward. In the video, and there's a video on it in the marketing tools area that takes you, and I used that video when I first joined to put the card on my phone. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but this card can be used. You can see there are major drugstores, Target, CVS, Kmart, Rite Aid, Walgreens, and Walmart. So the card is very useful. Because of my insurance, I actually wasn't able to get the benefits of using the discount card because my insurance is, as the pharmacy said, was pretty good. But I do know people in my line, people I personally sponsored in different states that said that they were able to use it and save several $100s each month. So the card is definitely worth using, folks. So I would highly suggest that. And make sure I'm on the right. So we'll go here. So then the grocery coupons, and I'm going backwards because pharmacy card, grocery coupons, and Amazon savings are all available to all level of membership. It doesn't matter if you're free, bronze, silver, or gold. The premium benefits is only available to the bronze, silver, and gold members. Grocery coupons. If you click on grocery coupons, another browser will open up, and I believe I'm already set up in here, so I can't take you through those steps again. But it will bring up the grocery, the coupons.com. And you guys have seen the video from Coach. So it allows you to, if you're going shopping, that kind of thing, it allows you to get your coupons either online, digitally, or I believe you can print them out. I haven't used the coupons for groceries at all. So Joey, if you've used any of this or anyone else, feel free to take us through that part of it, because this is not something that I'm not a shopper. And when I do go shopping, I usually go to Sam's, which has a discount membership in here if you're a new member. And I usually just grab my things there.
It's like using any other coupon. It's very convenient. You print it from your printer, you go to the store and you use it, and you can also use it online.
Okay, thank you, Renee. So, any questions about the coupons, and we may have someone answer for you, because this is not my forte and I'm not going to mislead anyone. But if you have any questions about the coupon, folks, I do use the premium benefits. I use the hotel rooms, and I'm going to be making a trip very shortly where I use the Southwest, the hotel rooms, and the car rental. So that's where I get my discounts from. And again, the first month I was in, within a couple of weeks of joining, I had already saved over $80, close to 100 by reserving 2 hotel rooms. So, but that's where I've used Amazon also, and we'll get into that. But if you don't have any questions about the coupons, then we'll just move on to Amazon.
Yeah, is there a way that you could take a picture of the coupon on your phone, and then when you go to the store, you use it, show them the picture? Is there a way of doing that?
Well, I don't know. Is that what you did, Renee?
Actually, no. I went on the site and went to the coupons.com, and I printed the coupons out and took them to the store with me and used them there.
So I don't know. That's something worth trying. Has anybody else used the coupons.com? No? Okay.
I haven't.
All right. Well, you and I are in the same boat, Joey. We really got in here for a whole different reason. But I eventually will use it. I have used Amazon and I have used the premium benefits. I wasn't able to use the pharmacy card, but I did try it. And when they looked it all up, and and this is another thing, folks, let me bring this up while we're dealing with this area. I actually called the company that is associated with Maxous, that is partnered with Maxous for the pharmacy card. I actually called that company the day that I tried to use the card to make sure that my pharmacy was telling me the truth. So we looked up my prescriptions, and I paid $249 for one medicine, for 3 months. When the people at the pharmacy card looked it up, they said that medicine is normally $400 and something a month for a 30-day supply, and they would have been able to give it to me for 100, and I think it was 130 something for a 30-day supply. So I would have saved close to $300, if not, if I had used that pharmacy card. But because my insurance is a really good insurance, I actually saved more because it was only $249 for 3 months instead of $130 every month. So they couldn't beat that, but if I didn't have that insurance, they would have saved me over $300 a month. So, but I actually called the company. They're very polite, very courteous, friendly people. They knew their stuff. They looked everything up. They able to tell me everything I needed to know. So if you use prescriptions or have a need for prescriptions, whether it's ongoing or just one time, I highly suggest using that card. And if your insurance can beat it, fine. But if it can't, you can save a lot of money using the card. Okay, now with Amazon, I'm already logged in. I also have Rakuten, and I recently, through my daughters and granddaughter, I got signed up to Honey also. So what I'm trying to do now is kind of triple and quadruple stack my cash backs and discounts. So by going into Amazon through Maxous, you already, if you could, guys can see up here, and I'll move this down a little so you can see it. It says Amazon.com tag equals Maxous 7. So that lets you know that you're hooked in through the Maxous Benefit Hub. And then from that point on, you just do your normal Amazon shopping, and your discount will come in because the code is already embedded. Any questions on that? Okay. So we'll get out of that one. And the premium benefits. And if I'm moving too fast, folks, please say something, because this is important. And if you need to show someone else this, you're going to want to know it. And if you're comfortable with it, then fine. But if I'm moving too fast or I'm confusing you in any way, please say something or raise your hand in the chat room, whatever, so that we can address it. That's very important for me. To all of us, really. Here, we're in the benefits hub. Now, in the case of what I've used it for, I actually just went in and started looking for hotels when I first used it. Again, sometime this week, I won't say this weekend, but sometime this week, I will actually go in and grab my deals from the hotels, the car rental, and the airline. And we are hooked in all of them. So, and normally you can just type in here and search the offers for what you're looking for, or you can scroll down and actually go into the different areas for what you want. So it's really, really self-explanatory. There's in this case, let's say I want to go to the hotel. And because I used to travel a lot for my job, I have a lot of those hotel reward points for almost all the chains, but I actually used Maxous to see, and I got a better discount by using Maxous. I actually saved over 46% for each room. That's quite a bit. And the places I went, I actually grew up in the area, so I knew that the original pricing was correct. It wasn't like they inflated the pricing to give you a discount. The original pricing was correct, and I got 46% off the original pricing. So I thought that was a great deal. So you would do like you normally would online. You just put in your information where you want to stay, the whole bitch, and search, and come up with the hotel you want, and it'll show you. And I should have, I think I put it actually in there, the receipt. And it shows the whole receipt. You get the receipt, it shows you the original price, the discount, and it also lets you know that this is only for Maxous members and that kind of thing. So you'll get a legitimate savings, and it's a huge savings, I think.
Julius, I have a question.
Sure.
It's a little noisy here, and I didn't know if you mentioned this or not. I had gone on the Target site, and I had signed up there. They asked for, username and username, and definitely a password. I have to create an account at any rate with Target. If we go through the back office, do we have to first sign up with the Benefits Hub?
Yes. When you first use the Benefits Hub, you actually have to sign up. And from
where do we do that?
Hold on one second, please.
Mm-hmm.
Jean, we're actually on a training call for Maxous right now. Okay, buddy, I'll talk to you later. I don't go to that one. I don't know anything about that. Yes, I'll call you after we're done with the training call. All right, buddy. Bye-bye. That was actually one of our co-members. Okay, so yes, when you first join, and because I've already done it, but when you first go into Benefits and Save and click on Premium Benefits, it comes up with an area for you to sign in and log in. And then from that point on, it automatically logs you in like it's doing me now. So you don't have to go in and remember a password or anything. Once you sign up to it, it's all integrated in with Maxous. So it just immediately puts you into, it immediately shows Julius Covington. I don't have to sign in again. And I never do. I don't sign out, I don't sign in, I just go back into Maxous, whatever I was doing. But you do, the first time you bring it up, it does have a place for you to sign in.
Okay, I don't remember doing that, but I might have because there was nothing coming up.
Okay. And that was it when
and I was afraid to buy anything, thinking that it would not go through, the Maxous back office, even though I was in the back office. Right.
Now, did you click on Premium Benefits, or were you going through the coupon?
Yes, under Premium.
Okay. If you went in and it didn't give you something to sign up, and it should look like this, but only have your name on it. If it looks like this with the Maxous logo and your name, then you signed up.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Any other questions or comments about this area? No? Okay. The next area that we want to deal with is the marketplace listings. Again, my primary focus, there are a couple of other things that I am involved in, but my primary focus is Maxous, and on the Maxous site, I'm more geared to, if I will put anything in the activity feed, it will be resources that I really think would help someone promote Maxous. I have not put anything in the marketplace listings, but I have looked over them, and we'll go in that briefly. The browse ads, you just simply click on browse ads. And all of this is pretty intuitive, folks. So the only thing that I have not done, but I know, I think both my daughters and my granddaughter have actually placed their ads. I'm not sure of that, but I know at least one has. So they can pipe in if I say something the wrong way. But basically, if you're just looking for ads, you can type in, if you say find listings, you can actually search what it is you want to look for. And in this case, let's say I don't know what to look for, guys, because I haven't really been marketing anything else. But you have different categories. So let's just say home business. And okay, let's say at least Shan. And search. Now I'm not sure what I'll find. Okay, so there we have. So you can search for anything you want. To place an ad, you simply just click on place ads, and you can do that also on the menu side here. And I just do it. And you can just it will show all here when you do my ads, it will show all the ads that you have placed. And again, for a free member, it's 1 ad. For a bronze member, it's 3 ads total because you get 2 plus the 1 that a free one gets. So each of the paid levels get so many plus the one that a free member receives. And I think it's 5 for a silver member, so that would be a total of 6, and then 10 for the gold member plus the 1 that the free one would get, so a total of 11. And you simply just select the category that you want to put your ad in. I would always go under home business or MLM marketing or something of that nature. I don't see that here, so I would put in home business or online business or that kind of thing. And then you continue and you follow the steps. And from what my daughter said, it was pretty easy. Lavinia, would you agree?
Yes, I would agree.
Okay, so Maxous isn't really hard to use. It may be confusing if you're not familiar with certain steps, but it's not really a hard site to navigate through. If no questions there, this is self-explanatory. When you click on it, it takes you into where we are now in the Maxous Zoom room, and you just follow the steps there. Contacts is pretty interesting. There's a lot of things you can do with your contacts. So if you click on that, okay, and I'm not sure if that's me, folks. It might be my my internet connection. But here you have your export leads, and we'll get up to that in a minute. You can actually filter for what you're looking for, and all of your contacts would be here. So in this case, I have 49 pages of contacts. So if I was looking for, let's say, I was looking for, I'll pick on Renee. I can actually type in Renee here and hit search, and all of the Renees would come up right here. In this case, it's just the one, my daughter. So you export. I'm going to skip back up because export, I use export whenever I'm sending a reminder to my team that that there's a webinar, or that I added something to the team site that I created, or there's some information I thought was important. So I will post it and send an email to my team. So in this case, I can actually hit export, and down here, it will create an Excel spreadsheet. And then I can grab all the emails off of the spreadsheet and put them in the blind carbon copy so that everyone won't have everybody else's email, and then mail it out. So it comes in really, really handy. And what I would normally do, and I'll just say here, I have to move this out of there so you guys can see that. In this particular case, what I did here was I just hit compose. And I don't know, some of you might have Gmail. I use Gmail. Some of you have Yahoo and Outlook and that kind of thing. But in Gmail, I'm able to set everything up. I can go down, hit a template, and I created templates. And let's say the reminder for today's webinar. So I have everything I need, and I just change these first 2 lines. In recipient, I put it to myself, and then blind carbon copy, I will copy in all of those names into the blind carbon copy area, just copy and paste, and then I hit send. I change whatever I need to change, and it's done. And it's like a matter of 2 minutes. So this comes in very handy if you want to hit all of your personally sponsored in one shot, and you're not doing an individual personal email. So that's something here. If let's say you have a list of, and you want to select all, but you're only interested in the active people. Your active team members are the people who are paid. So look at active as paid. So if you just want to see all your active people, then you would select active here. You will keep this one with as all and hit your update search. And when it's done, you'll have only your active people. And you see I have 2 pages. That's it. That's how you do that. If you wanted to see the people who expired, you do the same thing. You just change it to expired and hit update search. Same thing for free. And again, your sponsor information shows up right there. So, any questions on contacts? Did I go over it too fast? Again, because I can ramble, folks. I try to slow it down, but it's not always successful. Team network. And let's check on the time here because it's 12:42. We normally try to keep this on 30 minutes. So I've already, well, we started at about 12:10. So we're still over time. So we'll hit team network. And if coach doesn't have something else planned, we can always finish this up next time, or we're still making a lot of videos. We still have a lot to do. So all of this will be in at least one or probably more than one video because we're trying to keep them short. At some point, we just haven't been able to get all of them done yet. But so we'll go slightly over team network because there's a few things, tricks and tips you can do there too. So your live team network are your paid members, your active, your subscribed members, however you want to call them. Your pre-launch team is everyone. I mean, everyone that's in your team, paid and free. Your placement sponsor tool is how to maneuver things. And we can get into, that's a whole nother subject itself. And power line is just everybody that comes in the company, period, whether they're under you or not. But Powerline is a good way. I'm going to click on it really quickly. It's a good way to see who's coming in. If you don't see it on the activity feed, you can just go on the Powerline and see, and it's the most recent. So it will show the person that came in, and that was the Jacob that I welcomed, and Bob Brooks, Coach Bob was the one who brought him in, and then Tess Singh and Elena was the one who sponsored him. So you can see, and George sponsored a Fritzy May. I remember seeing that early this morning, about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So you can see who the sponsor was and who the new person is or the new member. And it's quite a bit. And this is not just your team, it's everybody in the company. Whenever someone is sponsored in, they show up in the power line, and the person that sponsored them shows up. And I'm going to back it up this way. Your placement sponsor tool is important because let's say you have a weak leg and you're trying to help build that leg. Well, your placement sponsor tool, again, you can select just the active people and say you want to place someone under an active person. And you see that person, to me, active means you're not only a paid member, but you also get on and you get your points every day. I don't look up at the top here and see that you haven't been active for 4 weeks and that kind of stuff. To me, that's not active. Just because you're a paid member, but you're trying to promote, you're using the benefits, and I won't know that, but I'll know if you logged in, and I can see if you're bringing people in. The only issue I have is in the team rotator. Sometimes I have active people in there, and I don't know if they're bringing them in or the rotator brought them in. I have no way of tracking. But other than that, I look to see what people. Don, he's a promoter. Barbara's a promoter. Gail, George's wife, I believe. George is just awesome. He's doing all kinds of things too. So you can see, and let's say Luis, I need to help him out on it, and I'm just saying that I would set as a placement sponsor. So then everyone that I actually bring in, that I personally sponsor from that point on, will fall under Luis's line. He won't be the personal sponsor. I will still be the personal sponsor, but they all fall in his leg. And then when I see that leg is getting full and it's active people in there too, not just a bunch of free people, then I can move that to somebody else or change it back to the default. The default is across and then back down to the left. So let's say I have my first 4, then the next person comes in, goes under that first of the 4, their first one, and it will keep going across. It will give them 4, then it'll move to my second of the first 4 and give them their 4, and it'll do that, and then it'll come back down and go all the way back over to the left again. That's what the default is. If you're noticing that you have some active people in, let's say, your second and third leg, but your first and fourth legs aren't as active, the people aren't promoting themselves, then you might want to do a placement sponsor so that you can get the first leg starting to fill and then move over to the fourth leg. So that's what this is for, the placement sponsor. So it can be utilized to your benefit. You help people that are having a harder time bringing people in, or maybe not even active. You are still a personal sponsor. So you're not hurting yourself by helping lazy people. When I say lazy, I'm not saying it negatively, because when I don't promote enough, I don't care what my day was like, then I call it being lazy. So I'm not saying it in a negative way, but when you're helping inactive people or people who just don't know, then you can do the placement sponsor thing. These 2 levels here, again, your pre-launch team is basically, and then I'm going to shut it down, folks, because I know I can talk for 4 more hours. Your placement sponsor thing just shows you your levels of people, and here you can look in here too and see where your weak links are. You can just go down and see where are my weak links. But again, this is everyone. So you may not want to do that with your and to show you the degree of what we are saying with the free versus paid. If I go into live team network, there's nowhere near this. See, there's only 55 paid or active people. So I can look here and start saying, okay, where's my weak link at, that kind of thing. And then go back to the placement sponsor tool and move those, start having people come in under those weak links. Okay, I went way over time, and I apologize, folks. We didn't get into any of this, but we can do that. Again, we're going to be making videos of them. So if you guys just stay tuned to the videos section and the training section, and they'll be there. But Coach will be back next week unless something comes up. Then either Joey, Chappie, or myself, or anyone else that wants to train will be doing it. But thank you for your time, folks. I appreciate it. Are there any questions before we call it a day? No? Okay. Well, thank you all for attending. I appreciate it, and please continue to do this and continue. Maxous is growing, folks, and I think we're in an awesome place. So, just
Julius, I have a question. This is Gene.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah. How do you know what a weak leg looks like when you look at your downline? Okay,
Gene, that would be in the team network. When you look in your team network, I'll just use the live one for now because of you can look in here and see, like in this case with Lavinia, and I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, Lavinia, but Lavinia has her 4. And then out of her 4, some of them have their 4. Where in Nate's case, Nate has 2, and they don't have their 4. So I see Nate needs to work here. Joey needs work here, and Patty needs work there. See, so you can actually look in and see who's building or who has the biggest leg, and then who needs the help. So I would say go to your team network and I would say focus on your live team, because if you look at the pre-launch, it's as you can see, I have 700 people in my pre-launch. So most of those people are free, and that's just it. When someone pays, they may not show up under the same person that they showed up in the free section. And I've seen that happen. I've had several people that are under one person in the pre-launch, but because that person they're under is free, then when they upgrade, they go under somebody else totally. So you don't, everything moves around. So I just prefer to look at the live, and then I go back to my contacts, which includes all the free, and contact those free people and say, hey, do you really want to do Maxous? I'm here to help you, blah, blah, blah. But I look at the live matrix, the live team, to see where the legs need help at. And then I go back to the contacts and address everybody in it, free and paid. So I hope that answers your question. But
thanks a lot.
Not a problem. Any other questions, folks?
I just wanted to comment and say that was a very informative training session. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And everyone recognized that was my daughter. She was being nice. So, but folks, if you have any other questions or anything, remember, get in the Telegram group if you're not in it, and get on the Facebook. And I'm saying this from a person who doesn't like Facebook. I started it for business over 10 years ago. And my personal and coworkers and everybody got on it, and it just became a drag. But I say get into the Maxous one, because a lot of updates are right there, and Coach and other folks, Wendy and all those people, I was saying, they show you how they do their thing, and it's very, very helpful. So just even if you don't like Facebook, again, this is a person who doesn't, get into the Maxous Facebook group. And that's it, folks. I'm going to call it a day if we don't have any other questions, because I already took more of your time than I should have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julius. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yes, I second the motion, Renee. Thanks so much for the excellent training, Julius. Just what we need. Yeah, we need. This is so very, very important when you have a new person, to walk them through and guide them through, just like Julius just did, the different resources that are in the back office there. The more familiar our people become with them, the more effective they become in not only the shopping, but in the sharing, and which certainly benefits everyone. That's the beautiful thing about Maxous. Everything that everyone does benefits everyone. So again, thanks, Julius, and thank you all for coming today. And our next meeting would be on Monday at 12 noon is our training, Chappie and I, and anyone else that wants to come and share. Is open training for everyone. And then on Tuesday, we also have at 12 o'clock noon Eastern, and then the company presentation at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. So anyway, you guys all have a great rest of the weekend, and every chance you get, share your 2.5-minute movie. That's where it all starts. At least that's where it started for me. Okay, thanks again, and thank you again, Julius, and everyone else that came today.
Thank you all. Have a good weekend.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.